Now, let's get into and talk about this new long-term opportunity that is now with us in the state of Maryland with community solar. A lot of things happening in the state of Maryland, you guys. This is very important. I love this. I love where we are with this, with community solar. I've been in this industry and in this space for about 8 years. And anytime you have what's called utility consolidated billing, where the customer can simply sign up and it takes 2 minutes to do it, and you don't really need to collect any other information, including payment information, and they just get a discount for up to 20 years. Anytime that is available in a state, like the state of New York, like the state of New Jersey, like it is in Virginia for low and moderate income customers, and now for all four of the major utilities in Maryland, this is a big deal. So let's talk about it first and also know what's going on in the state of Maryland. I mean, think about this. In the state of Maryland, prices remain high because of the PJM market. These are press releases that have come out. Record prices. July of 2024, record prices, July of 2025. They just did an emergency session in December of 2025 to try to head it off so it wouldn't keep skyrocketing, but it's still now just as high as it ever was and higher. And that's just going to go all the way through 2027 to 2028. That's already known. So with electricity prices remaining high in Maryland and all the PJM markets, and then you factor in the fact that there's no more real, for all intents and purposes, there's no more choice for electricity in the state of Maryland. Like you can't choose a retail electric supplier as a residential customer because all of the companies left because of regulations. And so everyone's basically monopolized by the utility company rates. So that's what's going on in the state of Maryland. And now here we come, and this was the February 1st email that was sent out from Think Plus to everyone and saying that tomorrow, which was yesterday, February 2nd, community solar card across BGE, Pepco, Delmarva, and Potomac Edison now live. Okay, lots of updates coming up. Join us on the 8 p.m. Empower Hour, where founder and CEO Michael Falquist and VP of Community Solar Steve Condon will walk us through why it matters at this moment. Much more detail of what I'm going to go into, what's different about this rollout, how to talk about it confidently as it goes live. And then they're going to be announcing our first ever EA of the month and sharing a lot of other updates as well. So it says, see you Tuesday. Well, that's tonight. Okay, so that's what's going on. Now, what we want to do is set everyone up for success in the state of Maryland. So if you haven't already done this, in order to enroll a customer personally yourself in the state of Maryland, you have to complete the background check. Go into your web office, complete the background check. You have to do that. You cannot personally enroll Maryland customers, including community solar, because that's all we have in the state, without passing this background check. Now, keep in mind, what happens? Well, I didn't pass the background check in Maryland. Okay, or the background check. So I can't personally enroll customers in Maryland. Does that mean I'm out of business and shut out in the state of Maryland? The answer is no, because you can still sponsor energy advisors in Maryland and every other state without passing the background check. So even if you fail or don't do the background check, you still can sponsor energy advisors in all states, including Maryland. And if you fail to do the background check or you don't pass the background check after you do it, guess what? You can still earn bonuses and residuals on your Maryland team customers. So any customers that come in through your team in Maryland, you will be able to earn bonuses and residuals according to the regular compensation plan without passing the background check. So you have to have the background check done if you want to enroll a customer in Maryland. You have to do the background check. That will not, you'll put in a zip code for Maryland, it'll say, sorry, this EA can't enroll customers yet. Now, you also, preparing for what we have in Maryland now, get yourself up to speed, right? Get certified and get educated for Maryland Community Solar. You can get certified by going to your certification widget in your back office, or you can just go to the Maryland Community Solar Certification in Think Success. Either one will get you to that location so that you can quickly do, it's literally 5 questions. Okay, there's some slides you can look through and read, but there's 5 questions. If you fail, you can start over. 5 questions. I just went through it again just to see how long it took me. And even though I kind of know the answers, but it took me a minute and 30 seconds. So, to go and answer 5 questions and actually read them through, read each one of the responses and answer. So it's not that difficult, right? So everybody should be doing this. Go get the solar certification done. You'll get a nice certificate of completion that you can download. You can have it. You can laminate it. You can send it out to people. You can let them know, hey, I'm certified in the state of Maryland with community solar. Okay, to be able to help you on your electricity bill. So you have a certificate, use it, use it to your advantage. It's not just there to say, hey, all of a sudden, I got a certification and then hide it. I'll let people know you're certified. If you have a LinkedIn profile, put it up on your LinkedIn profile that you're certified for solar. Why wouldn't you do that? Then when you join groups on LinkedIn, or maybe you put it on Facebook, whatever, let people know you're certified. Then when you join groups on LinkedIn that revolve around this industry, people will look and say, oh, you're certified for Maryland Community Solar. Great. I wonder what's going on in that state. Right. So use this to your advantage. It's not just there for no reason. There's an intention. There's a specific intent why corporate has a certificate that pops up when you're done. We have people that are laminating these certificates, bringing them to booths, bringing them to public events, bringing them to BNI groups, and bringing them to chambers of commerce events. So letting people know you're certified. I saw somebody that had their badge, and then they also took their little certificate and made a small version of it on their badge. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Then you also want to go into the On Think Success, where it says your guide to community solar in Maryland. This came out yesterday, right? Or was it Saturday? Was it Sunday? I can't remember. But in the last couple of days, this email came out pointing everyone to your guide to community solar in Maryland. So this was updated, and it's been updated. I'm going to walk through because we're going to be doing continual training in the state of Maryland, like over and over and over again, opportunity presentations, getting on webinars, grand openings, educational events that go on virtually. We're going to be doing all different types of things, including tonight. Like today, we're going to have a double back-to-back, right? We're going to have the today's training today for Maryland Community Solar. We're going to go right back into it tonight to get even more information. So I'm going to just quickly read through what are the contents of this email. So your guide to community solar in Maryland, right? So here it is. The Think Community Solar is expanding access to community solar in Maryland through a significantly larger project pipeline and a simplified billing experience. So if you're brand new and you don't know what that means, it means it's easier. This reflects an evolution on how we bring community solar to the market. We're focused on scale, reduced friction, and easier customer enrollment. Those are all good for everyone, right? It allows, if you're new to us and you're on this call for the first time, you don't know what community solar is yet, it allows customers to benefit from clean, locally produced solar energy without installing panels, without changing utilities, or purchasing any equipment. The customer receives the solar credits directly on their utility bill at a discount, making clean energy more accessible and practical. So in Maryland, it's a major opportunity because of 2 key developments happening at the same time. There's massive expansion in the state of Maryland, like regulations and program parameters said more community solar, build more, do more, keep going. That's what's happening in the state of Maryland. So it's a growing portfolio of solar farms that are being built across the state. It's going to get bigger and bigger as we go. And a regulatory shift to utility consolidated billing, where you can just sign up and have the credits go right on your bill. So there it is. More projects, one bill, and less friction. This is right from the email. So the email talks about, well, why now? And in the Guide to Community Solar, it talks about why now? Because we're entering this new phase of community solar. They've expanded this to include utility consolidated billing, which integrates the solar credits directly into the customer's existing utility bill. They don't have to have separate bills. They don't have to pay 2 bills. They don't have to put payment credentials in. They don't have to go on auto pay. You simply keep paying your electric bill the same way you always have. What I love about this program in Maryland is now if you're an EA and you look at somebody's bill in the state of Maryland, you take a look at a copy of their bill, and they're not getting a community solar discount. I mean, now I would be basically saying to them, my gosh, you're getting crushed on your electric bill. Why don't you have the guaranteed savings for up to 20 years from community solar on your electric bill? It's a state regulation, it's an actual state law. They expanded it so everybody can have access to this without having to pay anything, without having to go on auto pay. There's no hurdle. All of the hurdles are gone. So the only reason that people don't sign up for community solar with you as an energy advisor is two reasons, right? One, they already have the discount from some other source where they signed up before. That's fine. Or they don't know about it, because there's no one who would not sign up for this once they know what it is. I don't know anybody who would pay 10% more than they have to on their electric bill if it didn't cost them anything and it didn't inconvenience them. So at the same time, Think Community Solar, our community solar branch division, has secured access to a major partnership with a huge pipeline called Summit Ridge Energy. So lots of stuff happening there. And then, so these shifts are making it more scalable and customer friendly. So that's what we have going on. So what are we offering? Well, in the state of Maryland, we're offering access to locally produced solar energy across shared solar farms across the BGE territory, the Pepco territory, Delmarva Power and Light, and Potomac Edison, formerly Allegheny Power. Those four major utility companies in the state, all the four big utility companies in the state, public utilities, this is now open. It's a minimum 10% discount on solar credits. Why do we say minimum? Because if you're a lower moderate income or low income customer, you can actually get a higher discount of 15% for LMI customers or low income customers. So all of these projects, again, they're operating under utility consolidated billing. This is why we're hammering this over and over and over again. See, anytime you don't have to have someone provide payment credentials, your customer acquisition numbers go through the roof. Okay? That's what happens. All right. So I'll go ahead and do that for someone. Somebody made a request on there. So great. All right. Appreciate that. So that's what we have going on. And then how is it different? Well, instead of enrolling customers on a single solar farm, we're doing what's called agency. We'll learn more about that as we go, but customers enroll once into community solar, and then we access multiple local projects. And as the projects are completed and capacity becomes available, we connect them. We'll learn more about that tonight. The results are basically, it's the same trusted community solar experience, but it's delivered through a model that allows us to continue to stay open over the long term, so that we can keep bringing customers in and then match them up with projects as they become available. What you can do now. Success with Maryland Community Solar, it's driven by this: clear, benefit-led conversations. So you can have direct conversations with people about savings. Sign up for Think Community Solar, get the savings. Get the guaranteed discount on solar credits month after month after month for up to 20 years. You can emphasize simplicity, of course, but not timelines. So we're not talking about timelines. We're talking about get in line as fast as you can, because the sooner you get in, the sooner you will be put on a solar farm. So positioning community solar as an easy long-term upgrade. You should focus on explaining the value clearly, highlighting that utility consolidated billing makes it simple, and then avoiding promises around a specific activation dates, because you're not going to know. We're still going to have farms being built the same way they always have. It's just easier to sign up customers, and it's easier for the customers to get onto a farm without having to provide payment credentials. So what we're doing is it's get in line. That's what we're talking about doing. So scale is improving access, but the allocation timelines are still going to vary. There's going to be times where lots of solar farms open up all at once and a whole bunch of customers come. We assign a whole bunch of customers. Then we wait for the next one to come in and we assign a whole bunch of customers. But what we're not doing is stopping the enrollment and waiting. So the stop and go that we've had in previous markets and other markets is now gone in the state of Maryland. I love that. So let them know. We'll connect you as soon as capacity becomes available. No specific timelines. Emphasize access, simplicity, and long-term value. That's what we're doing to manage the expectations so that customers they're not saying, hey, my EA told me I'm going to get these discounts within 2 months. Don't say that. That's not what we're saying. We're saying sign up and we'll get you onto a farm as soon as possible. First one in, first one to the farm in order. Nice, love it. Moving forward. This represents a foundational step forward for Think Community Solar. Again, expansion of access, simplifying the experience, creating the scale needed to grow responsibly. We're going to have additional training materials and slides and talk tracks that will continue to roll out to support this expansion, including tonight. You want to be on the call tonight to find out all of the latest updates beyond what we're talking about here. Get on that Empower Hour tonight, February 3rd, 8 p.m. There's the Zoom link. Get your team onto this. CEO Michael Falquist, he's not taking time out of his busy schedule to set aside an evening for us for no reason. Again, there's a specific intent. He's not bringing our vice president of community solar, who knows more about community solar than probably anybody that I know. I mean, he definitely does. We're not just bringing him on for no reason. There's a specific intent to what we're doing here to educate everybody on what's happening. Now, what we know from enrollment process, and I just walked a customer through the enrollment process. So we got some screenshots this morning. Enter the zip code. You first utilize your website, your get.thinkenergy.com/your username website. Put in the zip code. Put in a zip code. I just put in a zip code for BGE territory. So it pops up and it says, great, here's BGE. So you select your utility company, and then it shows you what the minimum savings is. Minimum 10%, up to 15% for low-income customers. It says it right there. And when you click on View Details, cool thing. When you click on View Details, it has all of the details that the customer, like, okay, here's what the customer agreement looks like for people who want to read that. Everything is right there. All right, so they just say, great, click sign up. Fantastic. Well, now you're going to create your account. Pretty easy. This is simple. First name, last name, email, and confirm the email. Then you hit next. Very easy to do. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to enter in the required information, service address, and other required information. So all they require is street, city, state, zip code, your phone number. You already put your email in the previous step, and the date of birth and your date of birth. So you put that in. That's for verification purposes. Then your electric choice ID in the BGE territory, and you confirm it. You put your account number in and confirm it. And then what your average bill is. Just, hey, what's your average bill? Is it like $200 a month? Is it like $100 a month? Is it like $400 a month? You just put that in there. You don't have to be perfectly accurate. Just what do you think is your average utility bill? It helps us to allocate by doing that, and then upload a copy of your bill. That's something that you definitely want to do. Everybody should be doing that. So please upload a copy of the bill, because if you type something in wrong here, it allows customer care to go in and correct it without having to talk to you, without having to reach back out to the customer, without having to tell you, the EA, this information is wrong. So uploading a copy of the bill is the fix-all for everything that we're doing. Now over here, you see it says, I am eligible for additional LMI discounts. And it has the LMI program eligibility right there. So when I click on that, it opens up all of the different programs that are available, and it says how to do it. It says, if you qualify for any of these programs, like Energy Assistance Program, Head Start, Free and Reduced Price School Meals, Low Income Home Energy Assistance, like LI HEAP, SNAP, Medicaid, Section 8, there's all these look at how many there are. And it tells you exactly what to do. If these are listed on your bill, then upload the bill that has this qualifying factor on it, program that you're part of, and it will give you this 15% discount. Now, if you don't, you'll get the 10% discount. Okay, so whatever the customer wants to do, bottom line is they're getting minimum 10. And if they fall into these categories, then great. They get an even higher discount. You know, and a cool thing is, as well, is there's also in this program, you'll see one of the things you can click on during the enrollment process is a low income verification form for people who aren't in any of those programs, but they can actually fill out this form and say, I am low income, and they can get the discount as well. So there's no reason for every customer that you talk to not to sign up. The only reason they shouldn't do it, and they have to confirm their enrollment at the end, and they're basically done. There's nothing else they really have to do. We'll learn more as we go. Tonight on Empower Hour, we get a whole bunch of updates here. But man, this stuff is just exciting with what we have available and the ability to build and to be able to earn upfront bonuses and 5 years of residual income on every customer that enrolls. This is a powerful platform, you guys. So wanted to get that information out to everybody. Here are our different info sources, our Facebook group, our Telegram update channel, our YouTube and Vimeo channels. A lot of this stuff is migrating over to the BAM app right now. I know there's been a lot of people that are looking for the latest updated community solar video. Looks like we're going to have one that talks specifically about utility consolidated billing. We're working to get that into the BAM app as well. I know there's a lot of people looking for flyers as well, and they're in the process of migrating from Marketing Center over to BAM. And so you might go click on Marketing Center like I did earlier, and it's not working right now because they're migrating everything over. We don't have the flyers yet all in the BAM app, but that's being worked on. So we'll get more information about that as we go. Okay, guys, well, that's what I wanted to get this down and get this recorded so everybody knows what we have our hands on. And then let's springboard this and get everybody plugged in tonight at 8 p.m. to the event. I'm going to put that up on the screen as well. Let me get that on there so that we all have that. Hang on a sec. I apologize. For some reason, I closed that window. Don't know why. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Paul, will existing customers, I saw that question right when it popped up, Paul, great question. Will existing customers in Maryland who are on community solar already and say they're on dual billing because they signed up a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, will those existing customers be moved over to consolidated billing? Yes, they will. As soon as their credits have expired that they've collected and are sitting there, if they have any backlog of credits, as soon as the credits are used up, they'll be switched over to consolidated billing at that point. So yes, can the Maryland Community Solar be done separately without having done the regular certification? You have to do both. You have to get certified as a new advisor first for the national certification, let's call that. So you have to get your full national certification done, then do the Maryland Community Solar certification to be able to enroll customers, and you have to do the background check as well. So you have to do all three of those in order to be able to, to enroll customers in the state of Maryland. So regular certification, Maryland certification, and background check. So yes, you want to do all of those. Your website won't launch until you do the full national certification as well, which is basically takes about 20 minutes to do. So appreciate that question as well. Feel free, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to just get my screen back up here so we can get the community solar information on here. There we go for Empower Hour. I want to make sure everybody has that. Take a screenshot, get the link down, send everybody to this, get your teams plugged in tonight. It's going to be a big event that we have going on. All right, Clayton, what about TPV requirements? How will customers be notified? And also, are there plans for small commercial? It's residential from what we understand now, according to the communication that's come out. So it's residential only. As far as TPV communications, we don't have third-party verification phone requirements. It's all being done digitally. If there's any updates to that, we'll find out more. But that's how it's done. This is going to follow the way community solar has worked in all of the states, except for the state of Maryland and the state of Maryland, basically, and Illinois, where there's some TPV requirements with some of our older providers. But yeah, there's no TPV third-party verification phone call required with this. All right, so is there a video specifically for churches, an opportunity video specifically for churches? We don't have a specific one, but there's definitely not a corporate, provided one, Winnie, so I appreciate that question. but this will be something that get in touch with your team, with your sponsor, and your team members so that you can talk about that, because there's lots of people who are doing presentations to churches and some people are recording them. So you might have access to that. So check with your leadership and go from there. It is definitely an exciting platform that we have in Maryland, no doubt. And there's going to be a lot of churches. I mean, you think about this when when it comes to churches. I mean, honestly, if you went, I was just on a call yesterday, with a group of pastors. And when you think about it this way, what pastor of a church wouldn't want every single one of their members of their church to pay 10 to 15% less on their electric bill for 20 years? I honestly, I've never met a pastor that said I wouldn't want my members to, I want my members to pay full price. I mean, no. This is a big deal. See, we have pastors that are basically saying, they have like their Sunday sermons going on. They have a couple different sermons that they do during the week or on a Sunday. And they're telling, and what happens is all the members of the church come in for the Sunday sermon, and then what do they do after? They have coffee, they have donuts, they adjourn outside of the sanctuary, and they basically they go and talk, they communicate, they talk about the programs that are up and coming, things that they can do as a group. How can they help the community? How can they help other church members? Everybody kind of hangs out afterwards, right? What isn't that the perfect time for a pastor to say to people, hey, next week when you come to church, bring your electric bill. We're going to get you registered at no cost. Don't need your credit card, don't need your checking account. We're going to get you registered at no cost so you can get 10 to 15% off your electric bill for up to 20 years. It's a state law. I mean, come on, it's community solar. So that's just a no-brainer. And then the next week on Sunday, they have a whole bunch of members come in and help people enroll. Have a few of the members in the church bring their laptops and put them on the desk so that you can have people start enrolling right there on the spot. It's an incredible way for a church to help the members of their church, of their community, and then make money in the process and have a residual income. And it's another income stream for the church. I'm talking to a group of pastors this week coming up. We did an initial meeting. Now we're doing another one. And they were like, hey, is this something where we could take those funds and can they just go right into the church's bank account? I said, yeah, that's how it works. You're going to have a pay quicker account just like I have. And you're going to get paid just like I do. And when they notify you, you can transfer it to whatever account you want to transfer it to. Right. And so they said, oh, so we could take this money and we could actually use it, that we're making money by having the members of our church sign up. If we're giving it back to them, we can say we're going to give it back to everybody, that we're, every dollar that we're using, we earn, we're going to utilize it for things that have to do with doing good for the church. I'm like, absolutely. So they came up with this thing. They said, man, we might be able to pay. We know some people who are about to get their electricity shut off in our church. We could use the funds that we earn from signing up customers to help them pay off their electric bill. I'm like, yeah, you could do whatever you'd like with it. So very powerful. So Winnie, appreciate that question. That's going to become major, for us as well. And businesses, think about this. What employer at a company wouldn't want every one of their employees to pay 10% less? Okay. Joseph Solomon, existing customers who is getting 5% savings, can they switch to the 10%? Well, here's the thing. I'm not a big advocate of telling, a customer that's only getting 5% savings with a solar farm in Maryland, let's call it, and now there's this 10% offer, or maybe 15% if they're low or moderate income. I'm not an advocate of telling people to cancel a discount that they already have to get another discount that could be greater. It's up to the customer, really. But of course, the customer always has the right. This is not a think energy policy. This is just how general consumer laws work. A customer can cancel their community solar contract with their existing provider. Absolutely. It generally takes 3 billing cycles to come off of the existing discount. So if they cancel today, maybe in 90 days, they'll no longer have credits coming on their bill. And once they have a clean slate where there's no more credits coming on their bill, they now have the right to choose any other provider that they'd like. So that's how it's done. It's not something that we do. It's not something that we kind of, outwardly, publicly tell people, hey, switch to ours if you're getting a discount somewhere else. We don't really, that's not the intent of the industry and the intention of helping people. We just want to help people who don't have the discount already. But if somebody wants to come off of a farm that they're getting a discount on and get in line, it could take some time, so I just think about that. It'll take you 90 days to come off, and then you sign up, and now you're at the back of the line with a new provider to get a discount. So maybe it takes you 6 months, maybe it takes a year, maybe it takes 18 months. It depends on how many solar farms are opening up at the time and how much what the pipeline is for customers that are waiting. Right? So it's sign up as fast as you can and get in line is what it comes out to. But anyone who cancels their existing discount with a community solar provider has to know that they're going to go to the back of the line and they will not be having a discount for months on end, okay, while they wait to be assigned to a solar farm. All right, so great question. Appreciate that. All right, DLF, do we need to wait until tonight or can we enroll customers now? Well, we went live on Sunday. Or I'm sorry, yesterday. We went live yesterday. This is actually live. All the screenshots that I just showed you were actual enrollment slides of somebody that I was walking them through their sign up, their enrollment. And I took screenshots on the Zoom what I was doing to walk them through. So we're already live. You can sign up customers now. We're just getting a lot of information, that's coming out about the programs and why it's so advantageous to do this as we go. So yeah, we're fully live. Community Solar is up and running right now. So appreciate that. Let's see. Norma, normally when is community solar active? It just depends. We don't know the exact timeline. That's why we're not promising timelines to customers. I mean, if you look in your web office and you look at the product comparison guide, you can actually see what the timelines are in each of the states. It's updated at the beginning of each month. However, I'm not sure we've updated it for Maryland at this point. So we actually have to wait until we find out more information about that after the call tonight. But we may have an ongoing thing where it says this is the normal expectation, the general timeline of 3 to 6 months or 6 to 12 months or 12 to 18 months of how long it takes for an actual solar credits to start being received, because it takes some time to get them connected to a solar farm. So that could be short. It could be a little bit longer. That's going to ebb and flow and change on a monthly basis. That's what we're talking about. You can't, like what we say now, if like maybe right now, I'm just giving an example. Maybe right now in the BGE territory, the expectation is 3 to 6 months, for example. I'm just hypothetically giving you an example. I haven't looked at the numbers yet. But let's say it's 3 to 6 months. And you say that to a customer today. Well, 3 months from now, that might be 6 to 9 months because there's a whole bunch of farms that we filled and now we have to wait for more farms to come out. The bottom line is, Norma, get the customers in now. The sooner you get in, the sooner you will get assigned to a farm. See, in the past, we would assign a customer to a solar farm and we would wait for that solar farm to open. And then a customer's sitting there waiting for that solar farm to open. And then all of a sudden the inspectors and regulators come in and they say, oh, you know what? This wasn't built the right way. Something has to change. You need some extra parts. You need to do this. We'll come back in 6 months and do another inspection. And now all of a sudden that customer that we assigned to that solar farm is waiting an additional 6 months that we didn't know about because something changed on the ground out of our control. And meanwhile, there's another customer that signed up after that customer that went right on to a solar farm that we assigned them to because they didn't have any delays on that solar farm. See, so what we're dealing with is the situation on the ground. anything can change at any time with a solar farm based on timelines because of inspections, because of town permits, because of supply chain, because of logistics, because of weather. There's all different types of things that can come up that can speed up or slow down a community solar project from opening. That's why we now have the ability within the state of Maryland, which is the only state right now that we have this ability, is to sign up the customer for community solar with agency, as we call it. There's a thing called an agency agreement, if you want to read it, that's there. When you put in a zip code, it's right there. It allows us to take the customer's information and then wait until the next solar farm opens up and then boom, move them there. We don't have to wait for delays. We don't have to have them sitting there in case their solar farm is delayed. We just go with the next available one. So we'll learn more about that as well and get all that messaging out. But it is really cool. I mean, it's such an incredible platform that we have with this program. So it allows us to basically stay open and not say, well, we only have 100 slots left. We only have 2,000 slots left. We only have 3,000, 7,000 slots left. We don't have to think about slots anymore. We just need to think about enrolling customers as fast as we can. Sooner you get in, the sooner you get on a solar farm. So I appreciate that. All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to let everybody get back to their day. This is Tony Procopio from New Fairfield, Connecticut. Everybody have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Over and out. Have a good day.